Namaskar. Welcome back to our YouTube channel OCS by Ranjan. ଆମର OCS by Ranjan app ମଧ୍ୟ ଅଛି ଯେଟିକି ତୁମେ ସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ସେଥିରେ ଚାର୍ଟ କରିପାରିବ ରିଲେଟେଡ଼ ଯେଉଁ ବି ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସ ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ CPT ବି ହଉ ଯାହା ବି ଏଣ୍ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସ ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ ହଉ କେଉଁ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଉପରେ ବି ତୁମେ ସାର୍ ଡାଉଟ୍ ବି ପଚାରିପାରିବେ। ସାର୍ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଗାଇଡ଼ କରିବେ। ଆଉ ଟେଷ୍ଟ ସିରିଜ୍ ମଧ୍ୟ ଡେଲି ଅପଲୋଡ଼ ହୁଏ। ମକ୍ ଟେଷ୍ଟ ସବୁ ଟେଷ୍ଟ ସିରିଜ୍ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ ଓରିଏଣ୍ଟେଡ଼ ବହୁତ ହି ହେଲ୍ପଫୁଲ୍ ହେବ। ପ୍ଲିଜ୍ ଡୁ ଭିଜିଟ୍ OCS by ରଞ୍ଜନ। ଆଜି ଆମର କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକ୍ରମ ହେଲା ଲ ପେପରର CPT ଟେଷ୍ଟ ସିରିଜ୍ ଏବେ ହେଲା 2025ର आंसर्स डिस्कस करेंगे। चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, द रियल रिलेशन ऑफ jurisprudence to law depends not upon what law is treated but how law is treated is said to be grave. Option number B. Next question, the movement of progressive societies has hitherto been a movement from status to contract. The statement is made by May. The correct answer is option number C. Next question. Consider the following statements. Point out which statements are related to positivism. Laws are common. Analysis of legal concept is distinct from sociological and historical analysis. Decisions can be deducted logically with recourse to morality. The law as it has to be kept separate from law ought to be. The correct answer is option number B. That is 1, 2 and 4. Okay. एटा कौन पर रॉन्ग है पॉजिटिविज्म जोड़ा अच्छी it does not rely on morality for legal decisions. That's why it is a wrong statement. Next question. Judges do not make law but only declare what has always been law. The statement is of Blackstone, Sir William Blackstone. Okay. Next question. Which of the following statements is or correct in regard to a valid custom? The correct option is only 1, 2, 4 are correct. That is option number C. 1, that is the custom has to possess a sufficient measure of antiquity. Then 2, the custom must have been enjoyed as of right. 4, the custom must be certain and present. Option number 3 is wrong because consistency is essential. A custom conflicting with another is not valid. Okay. Consistency is always essential. Next question. Question number 6. In Golaknath versus State of Punjab Justice case, Subbarao observed. What did he observe? He observed that the preamble is the key to open the minds of the Constitution. The correct option is option number B. Which of the following statements are correct? Okay, next question. Which of the following statements are correct? And the correct option is option number C. That is 2, 3, 4. 1 is wrong because while the basic structure doctrine prohibits damaging the basic structure, Jair amendments can be made if they do not violate it. Okay. Next question. In which of the following case it was held that right to privacy is not protected as a fundamental right under the Constitution? That is option number A, MP Sharma vs Satish Chandra, District Magistrate, Delhi. Next question. In which of the following cases Supreme Court there is a thin line between the preparation for and an attempt to commit an offence? That is option number B, Abhinandan Mishra vs State of Bihar. Next question. Which of the following statements correctly reflect the cardinal principle actus non facit reum nisi means rea? That is the correct answer is option number A. Mens rea is an essential element of a crime and there cannot be a crime without mens rea. Next question. The right of private defense is not allowed in which of the facts leading to it? And the correct answer is option number B. More harm was done than necessary. In which case the Supreme Court held that pardoning powers of the President under Article 72 and governs under Article 161 is subject to the judicial review. The correct answer is option number C, Ipuru Sudhakar vs State of Andhra Pradesh. Next question. The right to constitutional remedies guaranteed under Article 32 is available to all natural persons and non-citizens. Which of the following pairs is correctly matched? That is option number A, writ of habeas corpus available against private individual as well. Next question. Question number 15. The law declared by the Supreme Court is binding on all courts within the territory of India, but the Supreme Court is not bound by its own decision. Was decided by Supreme Court itself. It was decided in Bengal Immunity Co. Limited vs State of Bihar. Which articles of the Indian Constitution invest extraordinary power in the Supreme Court of India? That is Article 32, 136 and 142. That is option number B. Article 32 is said to be right to constitutional remedies. 136 is said about special leave to appeal. And Article 142 is said to be power to give power to a power which is given completely justice to a case. Okay, justice to a case or a person or a victim. Next question. Question number 17. Proper respect is shown to the national anthem by standing up when the national anthem is sung. It will not be right to say that disrespect is shown by not joining in the singing. It has been held in Biozoe Emmanuel vs State of Kerala. That is option number A. Next question. This case is about Supreme Court who protected the right of Jehovah's Witness were children not to sing the national anthem due to their religious beliefs, okay, stating that standing in respect was sufficient. This is the case about State of Kerala. Next question. Question number 18. A instigates B to murder C. B refuses to do so. Which of the following statement is true in this context? Okay. A is not. The correct answer is option number A. A is guilty of abetment even if the murder was not committed by C. This is actually under section 107 IPC, abetment, which includes instigation. Okay. Next question. Question number 19. Which of the following is not correctly matched? That is option number A. Next question. Question number 20. Which of the facts do not include within the principle of joint liability? The correct option is option number A. Which of the following offences fall under causing hurt as well as assault? And the correct answer is option number B, flinging boiling water over a person. आर मीनिंग होची throwing boiling water directly harms a person, causing physical hurt. Okay, this is said under section 319 IPC. Okay, due to and also it constitutes assault due to the threat and use of force. About this is the information about this. Next question. There must be dishonest intention which should coexist while taking a thing for an offense of theft. In which of the following situations will it not amount to theft? And the correct answer is option number B, that is taking a sugar packet from another person is in good faith while his own packet was at the shop. Next question. Which of the following cases does not amount to robbery? That is option number B, removal of ornaments after death of a lady. Okay. Next question. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948 contains provisions relating to conceptualization of human rights. Conceptualization of human rights. Next question. Which of the following is not a form of damnus in injuria? That is the correct answer is option number 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Next question. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court of India applied the principle of absolute liability? And the correct option is option number D, that is 1, 3 and 2 and 3. Next question. The statement about consideration and its adequacy was laid down. Consideration means a reasonable, equivalent or other valuable benefit passed on by the transferor to the transferee. Similarly, when the word consideration was qualified by the word adequate, it makes the consideration stronger so as to make it sufficient and valuable having regard to the facts, circumstances and necessities of the case. Above principle was laid down in Sonia Bhatia vs. State of UP. In this case, the Supreme Court emphasized that when consideration is qualified by the word adequate, it must be reasonable and valuable considering the facts and circumstances. Ida involvement in this act called Transfer of Property Act, and the court explained that importance of adequacy is in consideration. Next question. Rules relating to the prohibited degrees based on the principle of, and the correct answer is exogamy. Okay. Prohibited degrees in marriages, exogamy mane prohibited degrees in marriage refer to restriction or marrying within close relatives. This is based on माने ଏବେ जो ମ୍ୟାରେଜେସ୍ ରେ within relatives ଯେତିକି ବି ବାହା ହେଉଛନ୍ତି these degrees are usually restricted, this is based on exogamy, which means marrying outside a specific group, especially other माने बाहर relatives को ଯେତିକି ବି ମ୍ୟାରେଜ୍ होती, this is based on exogamy under the law. Next question, in which of the following cases the Supreme Court discussed the development of the precautionary principle? And the correct answer is option number A, AP Pollution Control Board versus M.V. Naidu. Next question, the term environment under section 2A of the Environment Protection Act 1986 means, and the correct answer is option number C, water, air, land and interrelationship between water, air and land and human beings, other living creatures, plants, microorganism and property. Okay, this is Euler's exact definition of which provided in the act, which shows that how environment is interconnected with a board. Next question, which one of the following is the fourth generation of human right? The correct answer is right to communication. Next question, indicate the order of in which the following words appear in the definition of human rights as given in section 2 subsection D of the Protection of the Human Rights Act 1993, and the correct option is option number D, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, means all. Okay, life, liberty, equality and dignity. Next question, question number 33, the protection on environment in improvement of environment including forests and wildlife of the country is both directive principle of state policy and fundamental duty of a citizen. Then the correct answer is option number D. Next, which is not the modern source of Hindu law, that is Shruti. Why Shruti is usually an ancient source? Okay, it is not a modern source, which Shruti includes Vedas and Upanishads. Next question, the Supreme Court observed that noise pollution cannot be tolerated even if such a noise was a direct result of and was connected with religious activities, in which case that is B, Church of God, Full Gospel in India versus KKR Majestic Colony Welfare Association. Next question, in which case the court held the section 9 of the Hindu Marriage Act was constitutionally violative of the right to human dignity and privacy, and that the correct answer is option number B. Next question, which of the following is an actionable wrong? And the correct answer is option number A. Next question, everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. This is stated in which article of Udhar? That is article number 6. Next question, question number 39. Which article of the Udhar guarantees the right to seek asylum from persecution? The correct answer is option number D, article 14. Next question, when was the National Human Rights Commission constituted? That is in 1993. Next question, The following committee cannot hear individual complaints of human right violation. That is option number B. Committee that monitors human right bodies. Who introduced the concept of third generation human rights? That is Karel Vasak. Karel Vasak. Next question, which is the world's first character of human rights? And the correct option is option number A, that is Cyrus Cylinder. Next question, in which of the following cases the doctrine of supervening impossibility will apply? And the correct answer is strikes, lockouts and civil disturbances. Every promise and set of promises forming the consideration for each other is called an agreement. Next question, question number 46. When consent to an agreement is caused by coercion, fraud or misrepresentation, the agreement is a contract which is voidable at the option of the party whose consent was so caused. Next question, question number 47. What is the sound mind of the purposes of contracting? The correct answer is option number A. Person is said to be of sound mind for the purpose of making a contract if at the time when he make it, he is capable of understanding it and of forming a rational judgment as to its effect upon his interest. Next question, question number 48. Section 437 of Cr.P.C is related to non-violable offence. Which of the following is a leading case on anticipatory bail? That is A. Gurbakh Singh Sibia vs. State of Punjab. Next question, under which section of Cr.P.C private person is empowered to arrest? That is section number 43. Next question, question number 51. When the police registers a case regarding commission of a cognizable offence, the registration of the case is under section 154 of Cr. That is option number A. Next question, which are the following statement in the context of section 125 of Cr.P.C is not correct? That is option number A. Next question, which section of Cr.P.C says criminal court is held for the purpose of CRPC says criminal court is held for the purpose of inquiring into and trying any offence shall be deemed to be an open court. That is section number 327. As per section 307 of CRPC, when can a court tender pardon to a person supposed to have been directly or indirectly concerned in or privy to an offence? That is option number C. Next question, marriage under Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is semblance of contract and sacrament. Next question, question number 56. In which of the cases malice becomes relevant to determine a person's liability in law of torts Answer using codes below. The correct answer is option number C. The 5 judges constitution bench held that imparting education cannot be treated as a trade or business in which of the following cases? That is Unnikrishnan case. In Unnikrishnan case versus Unnikrishnan case versus of JP, okay, versus state of Andhra Pradesh. The court ruled education is not a trade business and profit making in education should be limited. This was the final decision in this case. Next question. The remedy of restitution of conjugal right has its roots in English law. Who does prior restraint in media law refer to? That is option number A, the power of the government of censor content before publication. Next question. Press is subject to the restriction that are provided under which articles of Constitution of India? Section 19, subsection 2. Next question. The law for working journalists and other employees has been passed in the year 1955. Next question. Question number 62. At present, films are certified under which of the following categories? That is food. That is universal, UA parental guidance, UUAS adult only, restricted to a specialized group. 4 categories. Okay. Next question. Which among the following is not included in negotiable instrument? That is mutual fund. Which section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1981 provides for protest? And the correct option is section 100. Next question. Dishonor of check by a banker without any justifiable reason is called wrongful dishonor of check. Next question. Chronological arrange the following judgments of the Supreme Court of India on Uniform Civil Code. Then the correct option is answer number D. In the public, next question, or question number 67. If the public information officer fails to give information to the informant within the period specified under the Right to Information Act, it is called as deemed rejection. Next question, question number 68. Which of the following does not come under the definition of information under RTI? Okay, and the correct answer is transparency. Question number 68. That is option number C, file notings in the process. Next question. The long title of the RTI Act seeks to promote the following qualities in the working of every public authority, and the correct answer is option number A, transparency. Next question. Right to information includes the right to. The correct option is option number D, that is all include. Next question. Which section deals with severability of the RTI Act? That is section 112. How could a public information officer receives application? That is those of 1, 2, 3. Next question. Which are visual representation of consumer perceptions and preferences, that is perpetual marks. Which of the following right has not been provided by the Consumer Protection Act 1986? Right to replace. Which section of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 states about the objects of the Consumer Protection Councils? That is option number B. Next question. Section 19A of the Consumer Protection Act provides the state and national commission shall hear as expeditiously as possible and an endeavour shall be made to finally dispose of the appeal within 90 days from the date of its admission. The section further empowers the commission to make following orders, and the correct option is option number B. Next question. Which of the following act provides for separate definitions of consumer for the purpose of goods and services? That is, the correct answer is option number C. The next question is question number 78. What is defined as an exchange according to section 118 of the Transfer of Property Act? That is option number B. Next question. That there must be specific allegation regarding the role played by each of the directors, then only they are liable for prosecution under section 138 of the Negotiable Instruments Act. In which of the following case the statement was made? That is Y. Srilata versus Mukund Chandra Botra. Next question. Supreme Court has laid down under certain sections to criminal courts for speedy and expeditious disposal of cases falling under section 138 of Negotiable Instrument Act. So the correct answer is Rangappa versus Mohan. Next question. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that the public authority providing services or goods as per the definition under Consumer Protection Act 1986 must be held liable to pay adequate compensation to the consumer for harassment or mental agony or oppression caused to him for the capricious exercise or power, and the money could then be recovered from the erring public officials? Then the correct option is option number A. State of Gujarat versus Memo Mahon. Next question. Question number 82. Transfer of the part of performance has right to protect his possession. That is, the correct option is it is right statement. A seal mark the incorrect statement, and the correct option is option number D. Next question. Where the mortgagor himself binds to repay the mortgage money on a certain days and transfers the mortgage property subject to a provision that he will transfer it to mortgagor upon payment of mortgage money, it is called as English mortgage. Gift made for the spiritual benefit of the donor could not be said to be made for consideration, and such gift will be valid in which of the following case? That is Syed Abdul versus Vishwanath. Next question. The Supreme Court in 2018 reserved that every attempt should be made by all the courts not to disclose the identity of the victim in terms of section 228A IPC in the case of Dev Singh versus State of Punjab. Next question. The offence of voyeurism under section 354C of the Indian Penal Code is committed when? That is option number D. Which of the following is not in short crime? That is kidnapping. In short crime means they are incomplete crimes. Which one of the following case is related to the offence of rape? That is T.B. Vadagama versus State of Gujarat. Next question. Question number 90. In which of the following case discriminating homosexually the Supreme Court of India held the consensual sexual acts between adults cannot be a crime? And the correct answer is that is option number C. Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India. Next question. Question number 91. In which of the following judgments did the Supreme Court of India direct all states and union territories to take appropriate steps for inclusion of acid attacks victims under the disability list? The correct answer is Lakshmi versus Union of India. Under which section of the Criminal Procedure Code police can arrest a person to prevent the commission of cognizable offence? And the correct option is section 151. In which of the following cases it was held that the amount awarded under section 125 CRPC for maintenance was adjustable against the alimony amount awarded in matrimonial proceeding under section 24 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 and was not to be given over and above the same? And the correct option is option number C. Next, according to the Lalita Kumari judgment, while ensuring and protecting the rights of the accused and the complainant, a preliminary inquiry should be made time bound. In any case, it should not exceed 2 days. Rule orthophase, acquit or orthophase convict is contained in section 298 CRPC. Next question. Question number 96. When the person who would otherwise be complement to compound an offence under section 320 of CRPC is dead? When? Option number D. When a correct contract is made on telephone, it becomes complete at the place where acceptance is heard. In which of the following cases it was held? And the correct answer is option number B. Which of the following is a leading case on the point of communication of offer? That is option number D. Next, state which of the following statement is defamatory. And the correct answer is option number D. The statement, while there is no rose which has not thorn, but if what you hold is all thorn and no rose, better throw it away, relates to irretrievable breakdown of marriage theory of divorce. Etiki hela answers keys. Hope you like the video. Please do subscribe our channel and visit OCS by Ranjan app. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.